how many of you actually uh, aspire to be a YouTuber? As in, you want to start a YouTube channel for any reason. So this is really a program that can give you a bit of idea about how can you really start right. So just to fill in the context a little bit, I started my YouTube channel in 2020 July, and over the years we have gained some interesting growth and achieved some interesting milestones that I will share more further later on in the training. But then again, I think most importantly is I actually generated 6-figure in revenue, as in US dollar in revenue, through my YouTube channel. So here's the key learning that I'm going to share with you. Now, let's roll in with the first hardcore fact. When this YouTube channel thing crossed my mind, I hated the idea of starting a YouTube channel. Now, for those who know me way back, you will know that Jason Gunn is a very so-called reserved person. I do not like to be appearing in front of people to do whatever things like, especially now we are doing all this training and coaching and all this kind of stuff, right? It wasn't really something that I enjoyed doing until 2016, I started training. But then again, even though when it comes to marketing, because when I had this idea of creating a YouTube channel, it was mainly for marketing. And in my opinion, I'm the kind of person who always believe that if I'm good enough, right, people can find me. How many of you can relate? If you think, it's kind of like this. We are sort of like, we have these artists in ourselves. So we believe that if we are damn good in our trade, if we do a good job, people will come to us and people will see us. People will just like knock on doors, and eventually kind of like the word of mouth would happen, and we will be the top of the world, that people will come and find us to do the job for them. But in fact, that's not the truth. But then again, why did I start a YouTube channel? In fact, it was because in 2020, what happened, we all know that it was the COVID. So what happened is, in fact, since 2016, after I started my training portion and coaching portion of my business, I really wanted to dive into this part of the thing. But eventually, what happened was, after I set up my so-called my physical training center, and I set up everything and finally decided to move down to the capital of Malaysia in KL from Penang. I was in Penang for 12 years. And when I was really ready to kind of like spread my wings and fly, the COVID hit, so everything crumbled. My training center was not able to operate. In fact, now we are officeless now. In fact, I am actually, I'm actually having more fun because I get to work with more people. Like Aaron said, that's where you found me 2 years ago. Exactly. It's how all things started. But then again, because of the pandemic, we couldn't do training, and eventually we tried to pivot and move things online, and a bit of events here and there, ups and downs, and I had my good friend Andrew to help me through my journey a little bit. So eventually I realized there is one thing that I wanted to try. So because I had the time, so I started posting videos more aggressively on YouTube. But prior to that, in fact, I started my channel in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And then we throw in some corporate video. That's what we do, right? And then we threw in some snippets and all this kind of thing, and cricket. 0 views, almost to none. And that's where we feel, I don't think I want to do this anymore. It's just not going to work for me. So in fact, when I wanted to start posting more actively on YouTube, I was really kind of like not sure whether this is something that I wanted to do, but I decided to give it a try anyway. So eventually what happened was, I think we started this exercise in July 2020. July 2020, there was a time where I decided that, look, I think I told Andrew about this and said, look, I'm just going to post every day. It was a crazy challenge. And we don't need to do this for long. Let's do this for like maybe, 30 days. Let's see if it happens to be something very interesting. So that's how it all started. But then again, talking about starting a YouTube channel, I just want to do a quick check on you guys. Okay. How many of you have this fear that when I start a YouTube channel, I don't think anybody would want to look for my niche on YouTube? How many of you have this fear? Can you type 1 so that I know that you're with me? Okay, if you have this fear where if you post anything on YouTube, you will get crickets. You will not get any views, not much, because just nobody will look for you. Okay, so for those who are kind of like having fear like this, can you let me know which industry you're in? Can you let me know which industry you're in? So I just want to quickly do this on a quick search over here, right? So this is YouTube. Okay, so this is YouTube. So basically, what industry you're in? Give me some industry and let's see whether I can actually see whether, let's find out whether would there be anybody looking for your video. So let's say, okay, ST started, right? Beauty. Okay, so let's say digital marketing for beauty industry, beauty salon, check it out. Digital marketing for beauty salon has prediction. So we go in and we look at this thing, and eventually, very simple. How do we know that if our niche has demand? Okay, first thing first, we look at, is there any advertisement? Obviously, most of the time we have advertisements, right? And then after that, we look at the videos. So you see, there is this thing called digital marketing salon. Okay, and then this video was posted 1 year ago, and it has garnered 35,000 views. You guys can see my screen, right? Okay, and then after that, there is another guy say 5 salon marketing ideas that rock it in 2021. 1 year ago, 8,000 overviews, and still 3 Fenty. What is Fenty? I don't understand. Beauty marketing tactics to grow your beauty business. 32,000 views 2 years ago. So here's the quick answer for this thing. There is a market. Okay, now let's come about insurance. Now, what kind of insurance? How to choose insurance policy? Can we do that? How to choose insurance policy. All right, let's try this. Let's try this. Okay, now how to choose insurance policy, health insurance basics. How do I choose the right plan? 91,000 views in 2 years. Okay, and then this guy posted something to talk about how to choose a term life insurance plan 1 year ago, and he has garnered 78,000 views. And of course, we have these like 7 insurance coverage Philippines. Now, Philippines, I remember, Aaron, you're from Philippines, and this young lady, she posted a video a year ago and has garnered 112,000 views. Now, do I have you assured that your niche would have viewers? There will be somebody looking for you if you do this the right way. When you throw yourself out there in the right way, people can find you. Okay, let's talk about, we have WeTat here, right? So training, coaching, be more specific. What kind of training, coaching? So Alan say motors, accessories. Okay, now, what motor accessories? Let's say motor accessories. Okay, motor accessories, analysis, sound effect, wholesale Philippines. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Okay, shop Philippines, what else? So basically, okay, motor accessories supplier, let's say. Let's go into motor accessories suppliers. So supplier shop, whatever, 10 supplier shops of motor parts and all this, check it out. Check it out, okay? So they are, man. Look at this, 1 year ago, 100,000 views. Okay, this 1 year ago, about 10,000 views, not too bad. 1 year ago, 100,000 views. Yeah, look at that. All right. So, okay, now we have another one talking about training and personal development. Let's talk about how to stay motivated. Okay, or so-called personal development training. Okay, training courses. Let's do training. Okay, personal development training. And personal development training plan for motivation in 2019. Brian Tracy had this like 2 years ago, 119K views. And somebody said 20 ways to improve your personality. 1 year ago, posted 1 year ago, and with 162 views. It's 162,000 views, okay? And this guy posted something 8 months ago, talk about personal development, and it has garnered 1.2 million views. So how about that? Jewelry, okay? How to identify counterfeit jewelry? How about that? Okay, how to identify fake gold jewelry or something like that. Look, somebody posted this about 3 years ago. How to spot a fake jewelry? 1.2 million views. How to tell if your gold jewelry is fake? 4 years ago, 156,000 views. And how to know gold is real? 4 years ago, 2.7 million views. So, short answer: everything that you can think of has a need, and when you have a need, okay, you can actually post a video, and there will be people looking for you. So I think that's the quick thing that I want to actually put it over to you. Now, I want to tell you a bit about how people would travel, as in like the customer journey of a person when they want to buy something. So let's say just now I was just having a discussion with who was that already? Somebody who is actually selling a vacuum sealer bag kind of stuff. So if you're selling vacuum sealer, just thinking out loud, right? Before I want to buy a vacuum sealer, the first thing that I would do is definitely I would go to either Shopee, Lazada, Amazon, and all that, and look for a vacuum sealer and look for the best price. But just because I want a vacuum sealer doesn't mean that I know how to use a vacuum sealer, agree? So what would be the next thing that you would do? We go YouTube and find out how to use that thing, isn't it? So just imagine, when people go YouTube and look for a vacuum sealer and found your video and you did a good job explaining how to use the vacuum sealer, and towards the end of the video, you tell them that, hey, since you're looking for a vacuum sealer, just in case you need help or you want to look for the best deal, I just put my link to my store in the description. You guys can go over and buy from me. Do you think this person would consider to buy from you? If you think this person will consider to buy from you because of this type of one, so that we know that we agree or disagree to each other, because this is the thing. This is how people kind of like do things right now. We do research before we buy things, and the best place most people do research is actually YouTube. Let's say, give it another example. If you want to learn ukulele, then you want to buy a ukulele. Now, before you want to buy a ukulele, you probably want to go check out how people play ukulele to see whether this thing is something that you want. So we can just go over and watch YouTube and find YouTube how to choose a ukulele, for example. Okay, and so happened you found a video. I mean, the person found a video of you, and then eventually you did a good job and say that, okay, there are like 10 types of ukulele, and basically this is the type, it's for beginner, and this one is for something, and you don't want to go for a very cheap one because eventually you will actually get very expert in a very short period of time. You want to go for a medium range one at least, you know. And well, since you're here looking for ukulele, in fact, I have a shop that sells, and on top of that, if you want to learn, I have a training program, which I put all the link in the description. Just come over, let's have a chat. I mean, do you think you will be the natural choice for this person to level up? It's a very simple idea over here. So if you have this in your mind, which is, in my opinion, I had this, you know, I was talking to my team that nobody will look for our niche on YouTube. Doesn't matter, you know, we just do this and see how it works. But eventually I was wrong. People are looking for everything. Trust me, people are looking for everything. And the best part about YouTube is, I really want to touch this before we go into the slide, right? You see, when it comes to Facebook, people will say that, oh, Facebook is growing. Oh, you know, only people who are like 30 plus or 40 and above are on Facebook. Those youngsters are on Instagram, you know, and even the younger ones are on TikTok. What the hell is it, TikTok, right? But then again, do you realize one thing? Okay, when our kids, let's say if you have kids, right, for example, baby or toddlers kind of stuff, like 1 or 2 year old, when they are noisy, when they crankle kind of stuff, right, when they crank up, what do? You get them YouTube, let them watch YouTube. That becomes a digital pacifier, then make them quiet. Okay, kids watch YouTube as young as 1 to 2 year old. Okay, well, my parents watch YouTube. 60 over a year old, they're watching YouTube because that's where they find a lot of like old stuff that they're watching. Now we watch YouTube to look for answers. Okay, we are on YouTube regardless what age. So basically, YouTube is in fact the most untapped so-called, I wouldn't call this a social network. This is the digital platform, right? Yeah, as you say, your cat watched YouTube. I don't know what happened to your cat, man. Is that a cat or a tiger? I don't know. Anyway, so nobody will look for my niche on YouTube if you have this in your mind. Okay, totally not true. Totally not true. Okay, so if that you have it, I hope this cleared your thought. Now, the other thought, self-limiting thought that I had was this, you know, which I said, I told myself, well, if you look for Facebook advertising on YouTube, we have Ben Heath. Okay, we have so many other big names, which, you know, at that point of time, they had like so many, like 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. Who am I? I'm just too late to the game. I'm just too late to the game. But here's the thing. I want to assure you on this thing that you are wrong. Why? Because very simple. Even though I go to Facebook, look for Facebook advertising, or actually look for, like, for example, how to choose an insurance policy. Look, here's the thing. Aaron, for your case, right? Okay, now we saw there is a lady with 100,000 views also targeting the Philippines market, but maybe I'm not into young lady. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm not into young lady, but then again, you know, maybe I like your personality. Okay, you get what I mean? I like your personality. I watch your video. I feel that compared to the young lady, I think this guy is more convincing. You see, here's another thing that you have to understand. YouTube is not a zero-sum game. When per person are there on the research mode, looking for an answer to their questions or looking for a solution, they will never stop at watching one video. Do you agree? Okay. And when it comes to YouTube, when we are looking for a solution for our problems, we are totally okay to listen from multiple sources of so-called opinion or multiple different opinion just to help us make a better decision. So don't worry if there are a lot of videos already in for your industry. In fact, that is a clear sign that you should still come in, because no matter what, there must be somebody hating the guy with the highest subscriber count, and they're just like you. I mean, it just so happened. So don't worry about that. No market is saturated on YouTube, in my opinion, because you see, a lot of topics are evergreen, and some topics are basically kind of like would have to always update, you know, with the latest trend and all this kind of stuff. So basically, there are always a kind of like an opportunity for you to surface with the latest idea, the latest thought, the latest point of view, and stuff like that. There is always a market for your niche. Even though there are a lot of videos, I want to assure you that it is perfectly okay. You can still enter and you can still find a spot, because just like how I started, right? You know, 2 years ago, when I was looking at all these big names with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, I was so afraid. Now, even though I still have very low subscriber count, it's about only about 4.5 thousand subscribers. But then again, I actually met you guys because of my YouTube channel. You guys found me, you know, and after watching so many other videos, whether it's Ben Heath and whatnot, right, you choose to work with me. So I think that proves one point where don't worry about that. Okay, people who like you will like you. People don't like you, then it's fine. You know, it doesn't matter. So the market is always there. I hope this gives you a better idea that, you know, it assures you that there is a market for your niche. Okay, now how many of you have this? How many of you have this fear? How many of you have this fear? You run out of topics real soon. You have this fear where I can't, man. Seriously, I thought YouTube has to go very consistent. And if you want to learn Jason's framework, this guy posts every day. I can't, man. I don't have that many things to talk about. I don't have that many topics to talk about. And I'll run out of topics real soon. Okay, so here's the truth. Here's the truth. Okay, now let me bring you back to my, where's my, okay, I'm back to the YouTube. Okay, we're back to YouTube. So let's try this. Facebook ads, Shopee. Oh, okay, that's where we go. Facebook ads, Shopee is one of the keywords that I dominated YouTube. I'm using, this is an incognito window. Okay, so basically, if you look for Facebook ads, Shopee, you see this guy. First video. Okay, second video by Wing. But if you mouse over, in the video itself, it's still this guy. Okay, and third video, it is still this guy. And the fourth, somebody else. And the fifth video, still this guy. And if you keep on scrolling, right, this guy appears like donkey number of times. You know, it seems like this guy has got so many videos about same topic. So here's this guy and this guy and this guy, right? So exactly, even this video is also this guy. Oh my God, who the hell is this? Oh, wait. I was so slim back then 1 year ago. Oh my goodness, I put on a lot. Okay, I have to do something about that. Okay, right. This guy and this guy and this guy. Here's the thing. Okay, any topic, if it's working, here's a quick tip, a pro tip, a very simple pro tip. Whatever video topic that works, you know, make another 50 videos around it. Okay, just make another 50 videos with the similar topic. I mean, you see, Facebook ads for Shopee, is it worth it? You know, I was talking about that. And what else? What should you promote Shopee with Facebook ads? How to set up Facebook ads for Shopee store? These are all talking about the same thing, but there are many angles to discuss the same topic. You get what I mean? So there is no issue. You will never run out of topic, because when you use my framework, it is all about cementing your position as the leader, as a thought leader in the market. So basically, If you look for Facebook ads, Shopee, I'm everywhere. If you go for a slightly more advanced CPaaS, Shopee, okay, CPaaS Shopee, short-term keyword. This is a short-tail keyword. It's damn hard to rank. Check it out. You know, this guy, you know, my first two videos are all me already. I mean, eventually nobody else can find me. I'm just saying. Okay, so yeah, I hope that gives you the idea. If you have kind of like the fear of not having enough topic to talk about, basically what I want to share with you here is you will not run out of topics if you know how to actually, you know, if you know how to actually use the trend, as in like, you know which topic is working, and you have to build a series around it, or even to build something to actually strengthen your position as the authority in the market. It's actually as simple as that. No rocket science behind these things. So I actually did the same, because at one point I saw my Shopee video is working damn well for me. So I just make another, like, I don't know, I think I have at least about 50 to 60 videos talking about Shopee, Facebook ads, topics and all that. So eventually these are all videos that are going to make me a lot of money. In fact, the first video that I posted about Shopee Facebook ads, I think it was posted in 2020, 2 years ago. And that video, I think, has garnered about 20,000 views until now. And it had made me a lot of money, because like yesterday, somebody just signed up to the class, to my Facebook ads for Shopee class, because of that video. So even though 2 years down, a video that makes you money can still make you money. Now, here I want to circle back to another, you know, let's digress a little bit. When was the last time someone approached you and say that, hey, I saw a Facebook post that you posted about 3 months ago. Is that product still available? Does that happen? Does that happen? You see, the problem about YouTube versus other social networks is this, okay? Other social networks are not searchable, if you agree with me. Nobody will go to Facebook and look for how to compare insurance policy in the Philippines. And people will go to YouTube and find answers, like serious answers like this. And when it comes to Facebook, even though you posted a video talking about this thing, right? It is almost impossible for someone to discover you on Facebook. First, there is no intent doing so on social network. Even TikTok, some people will actually compare TikTok to YouTube. I mean, it's totally different animal, because it's the same. TikTok is a social network, and it doesn't have a very strong search feature built around it. And the best part about YouTube is it is the second largest search engine in the world, owned by the largest. So later, I'm going to show you some interesting statistics on my YouTube channel that happened to me in the past 1 year plus. That really kind of like blown my mind. I hope it will give you some different idea about all these things. So you will never run out of topics, just to come back to the subject that we're talking about. Because if you know how to find and identify topics that works, all you need to do is just keep making more videos around it. As simple as that. Okay. Now, how many of you have this issue saying that, oh, I'm camera shy, I just can't talk well, you know, that's why I don't want to show my face. That's why YouTube video is not for me. Now, if you want to kind of like look at my YouTube channel, if you look at my YouTube channel, in fact, it's a B2B YouTube channel. When it comes to B2B YouTube channel, in fact, what people are looking for, especially if you're an expert, if you're a coach, if you have a solution to problems that people are facing, in fact, whether you have your face there or not, it's not the main thing. I think the main point here is you have to be there and create value, as in like provide value, help people solve their problem. And eventually, even just with your voice, or actually somebody just cartoonize their voice and all that, you can still establish yourself as an authority. Now, I want to quickly round back to look at this thing to show you an example, right? So this guy posted a video talking about how to set up collaborative ads on Facebook. Okay, posted 1 year ago, and has garnered about 9.2K views. Actually, not too shabby. If you look at mine, the best of mine has about 20,000 views. And when it's my CPaaS, wait, this is not CPaaS, right? This is CPaaS. Okay, 20,000 views. And well, if you look at this, right? Hey, where's the guy? Where's the guy? Where's the guy? Okay, this one. You know, 9.2K view with this kind of crappy thumbnail. And I would say it's pretty amazing. If you look at this video, right, I'm just going to play a quick one.
If you want to sell online, make sure you stand out.
Endure this.
Go to Wix e-commerce.
A little bit. Okay, we done. Okay. So if you look at this video, right, it is...
Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to this channel.
Okay.
On this video, I'm going to show you
how
to
simple
connect
walkthrough
or
video
how to
that
set
has
up
nothing else but
collaborative
you know,
ads that
just
recently
some walkthrough kind of stuff, nothing, just a walkthrough. But even that kind of video has garnered about 9,000 overviews. So it's okay. I mean, to be very frank, I think I think the most important thing that I mentioned just now is there a problem that you're really solving, and can you really solve the problem? If you can, you just go out and solve that problem. As simple as that. Because those people who are looking for solution, they are not looking for a good-looking guy. You know what I mean? They are not looking for a good-looking guy. They are not looking for anybody. They're not looking for whatever. They're just looking for a solution. So basically, if you are able to really solve their problem, you become the authority, as simple as that. So yeah, don't worry. If you're camera shy, do without camera. Just be that guy, be like that guy, you know, just do screen walkthrough and all this kind of stuff, and it just still work. Okay, he has half my views. Okay, I worked so hard, only 20,000 views. This guy already like close to 10,000 views. Oh my God. So that's another thing. Okay, now, how many of you have this issue? I don't have time for this. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do video. I don't have time to actually promote this. I don't have time to market. And then why do you have time to run your business? Seriously. Okay, so here's the thing. You don't need to spend a lot of time and big production to do all this. To be very frank, if you watch my video, you know that I do simple setup like this. I have a camera. I don't even have a mic. If you guys realize, I always use this crazy just earphone, and it works. You don't need to have fancy mic. You know, like Andrew has got an awesome mic. I'm still kind of like hesitant to actually get one for that because I don't need that, to be frank. But then again, what I want to tell you here is you don't need to have powerful equipment or crazy good so-called editing skills or whatnot to actually start posting on YouTube. All you need to do is you know there is a problem and you record using the right structure, okay, present it in the right way, putting in the right call to action, and just go out. And that's it. Let me tell you this, even though I post every day on YouTube, in fact, the time that I spend, I'm only spending about less than 3 hours every week to do my video. Even though now I have a new framework, which is the framework that I discovered in the past 2 months, even that doesn't require me to do a lot of work. To be frank, I only need to work like same, it's about 3 to 5 hours per week. Okay, and I mean, of course, that's on my side because I'm actually doing quite extensive. Just 2 to 3 hours, I think it's good enough. Because the idea here is you don't need to be like me to post every day. All you need to do is, in fact, there is a way that you actually kind of like achieve some consistency that I will talk about. So yeah, don't worry about that. Okay, so just to quickly wrap it up, I just really want to understand, if you believe you can solve some problem that people are looking for, I mean, as in like people are facing, what is really stopping you from starting a YouTube channel? I want you to take a moment and think about this question real quick. If you have not started a YouTube channel, what is really stopping you? In fact, if you think deeper, there is none. I just clear all the probably mind blocks that you might have, you know, in the quick few discussions just now. So basically, that's how I started my YouTube channel. Eventually, I kind of like thought through this and I said that, okay, I don't give a damn. I'm probably just going to start first, right? And eventually I started my YouTube channel. In fact, I said I started my YouTube channel in 2016, but I only started really actively working on it since July 2020. So fast forward to where we are today. This screenshot was taken yesterday. Now we have like 4.5K subscribers already. And recently I've been posting video about Ian because we are promoting his program. So you don't see my face a lot, you see Ian's face a lot. Here isn't even like when it comes to my YouTube channel, at this point of time, I'm already it's not just about me anymore because I've already expanded. So you see, even though you started your channel as a very niche market, it is totally okay to change direction. Okay, so here is how it works, right? Basically, moving forward, I will be doing a lot more collaboration, like Andrew's series is coming up and all this kind of stuff. So it's okay. But then again, there are certain structures. So how many of you think this is a good channel? Okay, and Dora is saying you only started placing short video clips on your store on YouTube, nothing else. That's why I have to start doing something. So this is the channel. So let me tell you what have I achieved. First thing first, as the channel started in July 2020 until now, I actually did a quick screenshot. End of 2021, my organic traffic was up by 206%, which means here's a very interesting thing. Okay, when I started my YouTube channel, I stopped everything on Google site. I stopped advertising, bidding for the SEM, the keyword, Google keywords, search ad marketing. I actually stopped SEO like donkey years ago because I'm not a writing person. I can't really write long articles like John Loomer, our good friend. Okay, that guy write crazy long articles, and that's how he become popular. We are in the same niche, Facebook advertising, but that guy is very big because he's really good at writing. But I realize I can't do that. That's why my website has not been really updated. In fact, there is nothing much except my new courses, landing pages, and all that. But then again, even that, my organic traffic up by 200%. And that's a very interesting part. And you know why it happened? It is because when people are looking for solution, okay, my video became, in a lot of cases, my video became the featured video that Google believes my video offer an answer to the question that people are looking for. And people will watch the video on YouTube and they will take the call to action and go over to the website. And because of all these linking and all that, you know, the SEO juice that came to my website actually kind of like eventually become more powerful, and the organic reach on general grew by 200%. Okay. And then YouTube referral traffic before that was non-existent, of course. So YouTube referral traffic up by close to 900%. Close to 900%. Okay, 890%. Because a lot of people watched YouTube, and because they watched my video, they took the call to action, they came over to my website. That's how the whole thing worked. But even that, right? So let me give you the context. My organic reach increased by, I think, grew by about close to 9,000 visitors in the past 1 year plus. Okay, and YouTube referral actually brought in close to about 5,000 visitors. So 9,000 plus 5,000, in fact, by doing nothing, my overall total organic traffic grew by more than 300%. In my opinion, this is crazy. Let me ask you this. How much have you spent advertising your business on Facebook, on Instagram, trying to bring all this traffic in? And you know, when you're actually interrupting people, I'm not saying that Facebook advertising is not good, because that's my bread and butter still, right? Because that's what I advocate. But then again, the problem about Facebook advertising is the behavior shift is too rapid. A lot of times, right, it's very difficult to get hold of the behavior part of the advertising part. So sometimes you get good results, sometimes not, right? But eventually, we know that the traffic coming from the social network, you had kind of like fairly poor conversion rate. We're talking about maybe about, let's say, 3 to 5%, which is kind of like the standard. But let me tell you this, the organic traffic coming from Google and YouTube are crazy, because these are the people who are totally ready to look for an answer, to look for a solution, to look for a level up. That's why this is how everything contributed to this thing. Revenue through YouTube is how I actually kind of like roughly calculated. I generated more than 100,000 US dollar through all these referrals coming from YouTube alone. And of course, a bit of a benefit coming from Google. But here's how I do, okay? I actually ask, where do you find me? You know, how did you actually stumble upon my information and all that? And I would say, how many of you found me through YouTube? Tell me. So many. In fact, that's how I generated a lot of money. Seriously, with I would say my YouTube channel is nothing to shout about. It's a very small channel, a slow growing channel. And in fact, I would like to tell you later on, it is an unoptimized channel. Even that can generate us over 100,000 views. So I want you to start putting yourself into the same situation. If you have such so-called revenue generating engine for your business, which you don't need to, in fact, if you look at this, right, it took a big chunk of my headache off, because I don't need to worry about Google advertising, save money. In fact, I do spend a lot. And I actually used to spend money and time and effort doing SEO, where I write article. I even hire somebody to do article and all that back then. When all these become not a problem, and you still see even like growing traffic coming in, what will happen to your business? What will happen to your business? You will be able to free yourself to do so many different things that you wanted to do. That's why I always like to tell people that, in fact, sometimes we actually tend to spend too much time marketing, but in fact, marketing can be done in a different way. So that's the number. Organic traffic grew by over 300%. Revenue through YouTube grew by, actually grew by non-existent to 100 over 1,000 that we made in the past 1 year plus. Here's the thing. The best part about Google, so-called YouTube marketing, or having a YouTube channel that is money generating, it grows continuously. As long as you keep a consistency, eventually it will just keep growing. Like my subscriber count will always grow. Every 3 to 4 months, I will grow another 1,000 at the pace that I used to have. But moving forward, because I'm implementing new framework, I'm expecting this thing to grow even faster. So this is something that will grow. And when it grows, eventually, it's potentially making you more money, isn't it? It's as simple as that. So I just want to quickly share with you what did I do right, what I did right in the past 1 year plus on this channel itself. Okay. So you guys can actually start looking into implementing some of the key learning that I have from what I did right into your own channel building. Okay, into your own channel building, just to make sure that you can actually get something out of this. Now, the first thing that I did right was consistency. Now, when it comes to consistency, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're thinking, right? What? You want me to post every day like you? The answer is no, you don't need to. In fact, the recommended consistency that YouTube prefer, just to make sure that you are kind of like an active channel, is to post at least once a week. But if you can't do it, in fact, I've been doing experiment with another YouTube channel that I just started. I will talk about that in a bit. Well, 10 days, 3 videos a month. Is that too much to ask? So if you see, all you need to do is you just dedicate a portion. Like what I do is very simple. I have one morning every week that I will be spending time editing my video and doing whatever that is needed for the YouTube channel. So it's as simple as that. So consistency is very important. If you post a few, then after that you stop for a few months, all the momentum will be lost. So that's why I would say, if you want to go into a YouTube game, right, you are in for the long game. But it's beneficial because the amount of work involved it will become lesser and lesser. Because the more you master this thing, like for now, right, if I want to do YouTube video recording for anything, I'll just need to fire up the camera, one take out it. That's it. I don't need to go through like editing and all that. In fact, I don't need to do that anymore because, to be frank, after so many crazy videos, you know how many videos I posted on my YouTube channel? You guys want to take a wild guess? You don't need to take a wild guess. You go to my YouTube channel, you will know. I posted close to 700 videos since July 2020. So talk about videos, man. I can just fire up camera and just do like 50 videos in a row, right? That's all possible. But then again, all this can be learned. But you need to look at your consistency. Okay, that's what I want to actually highlight to you. The first thing, in fact, is consistency. That's how YouTube determine whether you are a real YouTube channel, because the power of YouTube marketing lays in not just how people find you, but how YouTube put you in front of people, which we're going to talk about that later on. Okay, so consistency is the first thing. And of course, if you look at my channel, it's very easy to learn. You need to optimize your title and description. Now, some people will be thinking, okay, that means I can bait it. You can clickbait kind of stuff. Now, if you're thinking about clickbaiting, this is not going to work for you on YouTube. Why? Because the click-through rate is one metric that YouTube will measure to see whether your content are interesting to the people who are looking for an answer. But another metric that is very difficult to achieve, which is the view time. So even though you get good click-through, right, like 10%, 5, 6%, which is already quite good, but your video view, people drop off at the first, 10%, and eventually YouTube will determine your video as, I don't think it's really providing value. So let's not promote this video. So eventually you will not be able to kind of enjoy whatever that used to work. So that was the old school method. So when I say optimize title and description, is to help people understand what is this video all about. It's not about baiting. So it's still very important that your title and description has to be very much related to the content that you are delivering. So I think that's a very important thing. So don't think about clickbait when I talk about this. It's all about helping people understand what is this video all about. And of course, another part is the thumbnail. Like Jimmy mentioned about the thumbnail part, right? Thumbnail plays a damn important role. In fact, I've tested different thumbnail style and all that. Eventually, it actually has a very big impact because that's the first impression before people clicking into your video and watch it. It's like helping people make decisions. So somehow or other, you have to make it very easy to understand and grasp the whole thing. Some people likes to do thumbnail like, here one word and there one word and all that. Try to concentrate like you saw in my YouTube channel. just to focus, just allow people to really get the idea of the video in the shortest time possible. Okay. And the next thing that you really need to have is in every video, you need to have very clear call to action. When people, it's very simple. When I have a problem and you are having a video, you have a video that solves my problem. The next question will be, what do you want me to do next? Now, you must not be afraid to ask. You must not be afraid to ask your audience to do what you want them to do next, because it is completely natural thing to do. It is the next step. You're just inviting them to the next step and take a look at whatever you have to offer next. Because if they have a problem big enough, they will take the step and come into your universe. It's as simple as that. So you must have clear call to action. So very simple. If you don't have a clear offer, it's very difficult for you to enter the world of YouTube, because you will be posting video. And even though you use my framework, which you can still get good views and all this kind of stuff, but when you don't have an offer, it's very difficult for you to monetize. So that's a very important thing. So you must have clear call to action. And of course, the next thing we want to talk about is you must have solid offers. You must have solid offers. You must really know what you're offering. So if you are here, I assume that all of you are business people, and that's the reason why this workshop is suitable for you. But if you're not sure what you want to talk about, if you're not sure, let's say somebody would say that, Jason, I don't know what to post. Can I actually come in and discover and all that? Well, if you're not ready, I think this is really not for you. So you must have solid offers in order to actually have the whole thing to run as a machine. Now, since I shared with you a few key learning that I learned about, throughout my journey of 1 year plus, 1.5 years, running my first YouTube channel, which is Jason Gan Travel Academy, I just want to ask you guys, since you guys found me, and some of you found me through my YouTube channel, do you think this is a successful channel? If you think yes, type 1. Be very frank with me. I don't mind. I love, kind of like critical answers. But all of you think this is a successful one. Well, I would like to think so. In a way, okay? I thought so, in fact. Although I was thinking this is quite good. This is quite good. Not until, okay, I discovered a method to grow YouTube channel 5 to 10 times faster. So in October, I'll probably say that this is damn good channel. Some of you attended my previous YouTube training or so-called sharing and all that. I always like to say that my channel is good. But now when I have this new framework in place, which I've already tested it on my different channel, what I want to say about my first channel that you just saw, the Travel Academy channel, is it is actually an under-optimized channel. So it's a very important thing. A good channel doesn't mean that it's optimized. An optimized channel, in fact, the way I look at it, right? If I discover this method 1 year ago, let's say, my subscriber count wouldn't be 44,005. It should be about 45,000. It's totally possible because it's all about optimization. Although you have good title and description, you have the content, you know how to actually kind of build content surrounding topics that are trending and related and people are looking for, it is still not optimized. Let me share with you a few key learning. I can only share with you now after gone through some experiment on my own. So the first thing that I want to highlight to you here is, I want to highlight to you some opportunities that I missed. Running a channel like this for 1.5 years, although it made me over $100,000 in revenue, and I had so much growth that I enjoy all this traffic coming in, meeting people like you, to be able to connect with people from all around the world. But then again, there are still a lot of opportunities missed with my existing YouTube channel. So the first thing that I missed was this. You see, most of my contents are repurposed content. If you look at it, most of my contents are repurposed content, which means, I do my weekly AMA because of a lot of questions asking me about Facebook advertising. So because I didn't want to spend too much time working on my YouTube channel, so what I did was I would just edit, and put in an intro and outro, just throw it out as a video. So these are good videos in a way because it answers questions, but it's not platform optimized. So when I say platform optimized, means you need to have a lot more call to actions in between, and you need to structure the content in a way that makes people stay for a longer period. And of course, most importantly, to take action. So platform optimized content doesn't mean that you need to spend more time to create. You just need to have a structure in your mind when you are doing question and answer. That's why if you realize, right, I mean, sometimes when I remember it, I would do it. In some of my AMA session, I actually deliberately, when I'm answering questions, I'm answering in a format that is platform optimized, which is when I do that, it's a lot easier for me to repurpose. And I'm sure that with this kind of way of talking, I'm able to actually have better position or actually get better views, or so-called maybe get more people to take the next action on my video. So all these are very important key learning. So to platform optimized content is actually quite important if you ask me. So when I say platform optimized content, later I will show you more, but I think you probably know it already. Most of the video that you watch, if they are platform optimized, you will say that, hey, welcome in, you know, if you like and subscribe and all this kind of stuff, it will help me a lot. And by the way, I'm going to talk about this, stay until the very end. Those are kind of old school kind of method, but then again, it works. Okay, but basically, platform optimized content has got a different way of scripting the content. Okay, so that's a very important thing. In fact, up to now, I realized it plays a very important role. Okay, so that's the first key learning that I learned, why my channel was not an optimized one. Okay, then the next thing is lack of interconnected content. Now, this is very important. Now, you have to understand one thing when you're building a YouTube channel. YouTube do not want you to bring people away from YouTube. Just like Facebook do not want you to bring people away from Facebook. I mean, that's probably a different story anyway, but what YouTube likes you to do is, if you're able to keep the audience on YouTube longer, YouTube will like your video more. They will like your channel more. So when you're building your channel, it's very important to not just looking at the content itself. You must be able to take a step back to look at the whole content that you're trying to connect. You need to start with a connection in place. That's why moving forward, the way I build content will no longer be on the content itself per piece of video. I'll be looking at how am I able to connect several videos together to become a link, you know, to actually build a connection in between. Because if you're able to keep the audience on YouTube longer, YouTube would actually surface your video more. And another thing that I want to highlight to you here is, in fact, this is really something that I get it from credible sources. Hear it from me, believe me later. Every view, when I say view means quality view. Now, what do you mean by quality view? Means if a person watch your video up to a certain percentage, that YouTube will determine that this is a quality view. Well, usually if you want to look at benchmark, 50% of the video. So let's say if you have a 5-minute video, okay, every person who watched up to 50% of that video would give YouTube a lot of information about the behavior. And because of that quality view, YouTube will surface your video to at least 7 more people who might be interested in your content. Okay? Hear me first, believe me later. But then again, here's how the algorithm works. So that's why it's very important for you to do you have to connect the right content to the right people. And the content itself must be good enough to make people stick. That's what we call a quality content. Okay? So you need to start looking at that. Interconnected content plays a role. All right, then the next thing is I was not really leveraging on the algorithm. Now, when I say leveraging on the algorithm is I was not really making YouTube recommend me in a more effective way. So let me quickly show you. This is my channel. I screenshot this on my mobile phone. This is a mobile app, YouTube Studio mobile app. So what I wanted to look at is this. Now, this is a 1.5 year, 18-month-old YouTube channel. Okay, this is my YouTube channel, 18-month-old. And then if you look at this, in the past 28 days, I've gotten about 16,000 views. And the total watch time that I got in the last 28 days was about 760. Now, these numbers ups and downs sometimes. Okay, it was really bad in November and December. Now, come January, it kind of like pick up a little bit, but then again, it's kind of there. Now, just to summarize, to help you understand, on a daily basis, I get about 600 people to 600 views on my videos accumulatively. And my videos total watch time every day that, people will watch my video up to 24 hours, as in like total view time. So I'm not sure what do you think about these metrics, right? But to me, this is quite something, because if you if you just quickly compare this to your Facebook page or your Instagram profile or even your website visitors, okay, how many views you are actually getting on a daily basis? But this is where you can actually get consistently. In fact, at one point, my daily view crossed 1,000. At one point, it was in September, October, October last year. Our daily view crossed 1,000. It dropped a bit recent months. I think it's because of some adjustment or the behavior shift. But anyway, this is a number that the number of people, the number of views who are really interested in the things that you're talking about, in the topics that you're sharing. These are very high quality viewers, if you ask me. So that means a lot. Now, this is a channel, but what I want to do is I want to quickly compare with a new channel that I started. But before that, let me fill in some information about the new channel that I started. Okay, it's an old channel that my girlfriend and I started to discuss about cooking stuff and all that, right? So we did some try, and eventually we tried something and eventually it didn't really work out. So because recently I picked up a new hobby. Okay, I picked up a new hobby and I'm into gardening now. I like plants. That's why I brought my friend here just to show you. This is a plant that I'm actually having right now. Yeah, my favorite, one of my favorites. So I started a channel talking about all this gardening stuff. Okay, I started only in November last year, so it's like mid-November I posted my first video. And then over the past 2 months, I think it's about 2 months old now. Over the past 2 months, we posted about 14 videos, 14. We posted 14 videos. So if you look at the so-called the frequency or the number of videos, the consistency is there, but we don't post a lot of videos. It's about one video a week kind of stuff. Okay, so about a new channel, a 2-month-old channel, if you ask me, this is the number. So a quick comparison, the 18-month-old channel gets about 590 views per day, and the total hours watched is about 24 hours. But look at the 2-month-old channel. The 2-month-old channel gets 370 views a day now with the number of videos that we have, and with the kind of like, and most importantly, this is not an English video. Because if you talk about English means I'm able to tap on the world, the bigger audience, a crowd, because I mean, of course, the English speaking will be a lot bigger. This is a Chinese channel. I speak Mandarin in this thing. So it is even more niche. To be frank, 50% of my audience are coming from Taiwan, and the rest of them actually scattered around Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong a bit, and not China. You know that YouTube is not for China. So it's a very niche market if you're looking at it, that even that, right, we are able to get this kind of number. I hope you see where I'm coming from. That's why, because I stumbled upon this new framework to run this thing, that's why I did this on my new channel, and that's how we are actually looking at. And the subscriber growth was insane as well. It was a very, in a way, if I just compare, right? Okay, I should be able to monetize this channel in a month or two. But for my Chop Up Academy YouTube channel, it took me about 8 months to start monetizing. Monetizing means I start getting like advertisement share. As you can see now, my estimated revenue is about 100 over per month kind of stuff. It's not a lot of money. So the money that I make through YouTube channel is never from advertisement. Never. Okay, we made some money, but the 100 over 1,000, how can we match with this, right? So, okay, now what I did differently, I think it's a very important thing that I want to share with you. What I did differently with my new YouTube channel, I'm using my, newly discovered framework. Okay, so first thing first, rather than just like go out and smell all these keywords and do videos around it and just, just see whatever sticks and move on from there. This framework is a lot more so-called, it involves a little bit deeper keyword research, because I discovered this intent-based keyword research so-called methodology. I show you at the quick one as we started this workshop, which is instead of looking for insurance policy, we go for more question-based kind of thing. And we're not just looking at the question-based kind of thing. We have some method to identify, this kind of long tail subject or keywords that has enough search with lower competition, which we have better chance to rank higher. Okay, with the help of some tools as well. For your information, I'm using vidIQ. Some I'm using both vidIQ and TubeBuddy, but I think vidIQ does a better job. I'm not an affiliate. You can go check out. It's a free tool to start with. You don't need to go for the paid subscription. I'm using the free one, which is already good enough for me to do whatever research that I need to do. So you don't need to pay anything for these things. But you need to learn how to do deeper keyword research, tapping on the intent. The keyword is intent-based keyword research. Because if you're able to go deep into the intent, you're able to you're able to capture higher quality audience. And eventually, of course, we know that what actually goes down the road, higher quality audience are more likely to convert, and they have bigger problem, which you are able to solve. And it's a lot easier for you to build a kind of connection. And it's a lot easier for you to establish yourself as an authority. So deeper keyword research involved. But when I say deeper keyword research, doesn't mean that you need to spend days doing research. It can be done within half an hour kind of stuff. And yeah, you don't need to spend a lot of time. But then again, you just need the right angle, the right direction to do this right. Okay, so that's the first thing that I did differently. Because previously for my old channel, whatever I think of, I just do one video. Whatever questions that I get asked, I just do one video. But eventually I didn't do research. But this one is different. Okay, now the next thing I did right was actually I structured content with multiple call to action. Now, it's not just one call to action. In fact, kind of like what I observe is this, like for example, a lot of people would think that when you have an ask, let's say when you have an offer, when you have a call to action, you have to put it at the back of the video, the last part of the video. In fact, what I experimented lately on my channel, both channels, is if you have a good ask it first at the beginning of the video. And in fact, if it's a very strong ask that is not just an ask, it's an offer to solve your problem anyway, it can appear 2 to 3 times, no big deal. So here's the thing, when you're offering something, you're not selling. Here's the thing, because you're solving a problem. So when the mindset kicks in, it becomes very natural. When you're doing a video, you must ask. So you need to structure your content with multiple CTA, not just 1, not just 2, sometimes even 3. It's totally possible. Because that's why I said from the very beginning, you must have a solid offer, right? Okay, then comprehensive back-end content structure is also a very important thing. Now, my previous video channel, my previous YouTube channel, the Tribe Academy channel, this is how I do my thing. So I have a bunch of video going for one offer. And there's like video 1 will come to offer A, video 2 will come to offer A, and video 3, 4, 5 will come to offer B. Sorry, I'm supposed to be B. So, it's very individual and one way. So it's very important that we shouldn't be structuring our content just one way. If you want it to be successful, remember one thing I mentioned just now. YouTube likes you to keep the audience on the platform. So here is the new framework. Okay, in between videos, you need to find a way to connect them up together. So when you connect these things up together, it's a lot easier for people to find the next video. So if you get people to keep watching your video, YouTube will love you and they will surface you more. And of course, when you're linking all this together, in between offers also, it can be, kind of like linking to each other as well. That's why this is what you can do. And this is what you should start looking into when you're building a YouTube channel that is optimized to help you get the most out of, your YouTube marketing activity. Okay, so that's the third thing that I did differently. Right? The first, second, and third. Now, the fourth thing that I did differently is, with the help of the new framework that I discovered, and of course, I did a bit of my experiment in a different way. I think I cracked the YouTube recommendation algorithm. Now, what do you mean by YouTube recommendation algorithm? Now, I'm going to show you a screen. If you're not on your laptop, you want to zoom in a little bit if you're using your phone to watch this thing. So this is the thing that I'm actually showing you. This is my channel, the Tribe Academy channel. Now, I want you to take a look at the first part. You say, my total traffic source is this. 56.5% came from YouTube search. Now, if you ask me, this is damn big. I already did something right on my first channel, if you ask me. 56.5% of them came from YouTube search, which means, first thing first, a lot of people are looking for Facebook advertising related videos on Facebook, on YouTube. So 56% of my traffic came from people who are actively looking for a video on YouTube. First thing. Now, 27% of them came from external. Now, I actually didn't screenshot the external part. Out of these 27%, 90% of them came from Google. Okay, Google search engine, search results. So safely conclude this thing. More than 80%, in fact, 80%, more than 80% of my traffic for the first YouTube channel that I have came from search, whether it's on Google or on YouTube. Okay, so if you look at the bottom there, out of these 136,000 impressions that I gathered on YouTube, 17%, 17% of them actually came from YouTube recommending my content. Now, this is a very important thing. Being searched is one thing, which I already crack it because with all the optimized keyword and all this kind of stuff, right? But being recommended is another level. What do you mean by being recommended? Recommended means people don't need to find you, you know. YouTube will put your video in front of people for people to kind of like, oh, I like this guy. I mean, not guy, I like this plant, right? It looks good. Let me click into that. The video, I mean, the YouTube recommendation is very powerful if you crack it. So this is my first channel. I want to show you the second channel. Okay, it's a different story over here. This is my second channel, the plant channel. I just want to quickly categorize it as my plant channel. Now, browse feature contributed 41.5%. Browse means what? Browse means what? YouTube homepage. Okay, I mean, when you're browsing, when you're looking for something, when you're browsing, 41% of my view for the new channel came from the browse and 24% came from suggested videos. Now, if you quickly look at the bottom, 72% of my total impressions came from video recommendation, which means I just did something right and YouTube just keeps showing my videos to people who might be interested in my thing. So what does it mean? It makes my life a lot easier because you can let YouTube do its job, okay, to show your video to the people who might be interested. And eventually, if you look at the click-through rate, also not bad. It's about 5.9%. This one about 6.7% because it's from search. So you have higher click-through rate, but this one is also not bad. We are reaching about 6% bar. And if you look at my individual videos, those performing videos has about close to 10% click-through rate. So sometimes you don't need to worry too much on the click-through rate because when YouTube start recommending your video out there, it's natural that your click-through rate is low, but it doesn't affect the quality or so-called the so-called the ranking of the video in a way, because YouTube do understand that when they are recommending you to the broader audience, it's natural to come down. But then again, what I want to highlight here is this, if I'm able to combine the best of two frameworks together to help you not just get found through search, but also to trigger the YouTube recommendation engine to get you found and surface to people who might be interested in your video, what will happen to your YouTube channel? You get what I mean? That's exactly what I'm actually talking about right here. So what's the game plan? Okay, combining these two channels, what I learned in the past 1.5 years building my first YouTube channel, and what I learned in the past 2 months building my new YouTube channel, and combining all these 18 months learning all together, well, I actually did learn. In fact, I paid a lot of money learning from so-called those YouTube marketing gurus. But a lot of what I learned was really how to design thumbnail, how to actually kind of like, what do I call that? How to do your description, how to structure your content. But then again, I think what's more important is you're able to practice it and find a way that works. So what I want to highlight here is this. My method works for people like me. Okay. Well, hobby works. I have a plant thing, right? But it will be a lot better if you're trying to get these tasks discovered and you have something to offer. So if you're a coach, if you're a trainer, if you're a business, right? Like I mentioned just now, right? Even a business, even if you're e-commerce, is totally possible to use YouTube to drive, because as an example just now, before people buy, people research on YouTube. And when they watch the video of you, if you did a good job, and when you make a quick offer in between the video, people might buy from you, especially if you're selling something that is not so much of a brand affiliated kind of stuff. It's totally possible. So yeah, I would safely say that at this point of time, this framework is for businesses. If you have a business, if you have a niche, if you have an expertise, I think you can actually look into that. That's why I put together this new framework. I call it the YouTube Jumpstart Framework. So YouTube Jumpstart Framework can get your YouTube channel started with a very simple structure. So how simple is simple? So all you need to do is very simple. You only need one solid niche to focus on. Start with one solid niche. When I say solid niche means, like for my case, Facebook advertising. And the other one is, in fact, not just normal plant. I was focusing very much on alocasia, which is a species. And ukulele, yes. Jewelry, yes. Insurance, yes. Okay, beauty, yes. You know, stuff like that. You must have a very solid niche that you're focusing on. Okay? And then I only need you to commit to work with me to create 5 keyword optimized, well-scripted videos. 5. Only 5 videos to jumpstart the whole thing. 5 videos, well-scripted, keyword optimized, and everything is gonna be like put into the right place. But of course, you need to have at least one key offer. One key offer. Okay? And this is something that is quite interesting. This is something that would help you jumpstart in a very different way, which is if you can spare about 25 cents a day, I mean, that's about 1 ringgit in Malaysia. That's how much I spent in the past 1 month plus. I spent for the first 1 month plus. I stopped already since January. So if you can spend a ringgit a day, about 25 cents US dollar a day to run ads. Now, when I say run ads, I'm not referring to the advertisement that kind of like the intrusive advertisement that appears before you watch a video. No, not that. So the tactic here is this. We go for a search intent, which means, and we are not even trying to be the first video when you're looking for something. No, I'm just looking to be the next best video when you start watching a specific thing. So you just imagine, I'm tapping on this technique, on this so-called customer behavior. So if you're looking to buy a vacuum sealer, for example, so you probably will find a video to see how to use a vacuum sealer. But then again, I will have another video of mine, which is my video, also talking about vacuum sealer, but I optimize it in a way that it looks like it offers a better way or better explanation to talk about how to use this. So very natural, I mentioned just now, a bunch of people, I would say at least 50% of these people who are looking for answer on YouTube, they don't mind to watch another video. So when we just need to appear at that time, so we become the next video they watch, then because we scripted the video so well, we snatch the deal. How about that? That's how my framework works. So it's not something very difficult to do, okay? All you need to do is first, you must have a clear thought that you know what you want to do. And all you need to do is we work together, we build 5 videos together in this period of time, and we're gonna launch this together. And of course, you got to spend a little bit of money on running ads, which I will tell you how to actually structure this advertisement, because this is very important. Another thing that I want you to take away from this one, whether you join me or you choose to go with me in this program or not. But then again, here's the thing. If you want to start a YouTube channel, every time you post a video, okay? Every time you post a video, the first 24 hours is the most important part. The first 24 hours is when YouTube determines whether your video has value or not. It's a bit unfair, I know, but then again, you need to be discovered. So a lot of YouTube channels have problem getting discovered. Now, when I say discovered, it's not like, oh, you have an email list, right? Every time you post a video, you blast to this email list. It's a wrong thing to do. Why? Because if you're blasting a video that your email lists are not interested in, you might get a lot of clicks, but eventually when they click, whole chunk of them drop off in the first few, let's say 10%, it's gonna hurt your video reputation. So you want to drive high quality audience that spends at least 40 to 50% of watching, up to 40 to 50% of the video, then only YouTube will qualify this as quality view. Now you need to get enough quality view to let YouTube believe that you are a good video, then they will start surfacing you to more people around the world. So that's how the whole thing works. That's why it's very important when you post a video, you need to be ready to rack in enough views to kickstart the algorithm. So that's part of a thing that we will be doing. So if this is something that you are considering, if you really, because here's the thing, okay? We've been running ads, we've been doing all this, right? Eventually, YouTube marketing, in my opinion, is really the next powerhouse. So if you think this is something that you want to consider, I would like to invite you to, you have to apply. You can't just join. There is no checkout today. You don't need to pay money because you need to apply. And we need to have a quick chat to see whether I'm able to help you with this framework or not. If I can't, then I'll just say no. If we can, then I give you an offer and you can join me. So the YouTube Jumpstart Academy is my latest program. As you can see here, I am actually building YouTube as my next pillar moving forward, other than my Facebook advertising pillar. So it's a 6-week group coaching program. This is a 6-week group coaching program. Very simple, 6 weeks. Everybody will gather in a Facebook group. So the best part is you're not just working with me. You're working with at least 10 to 20 more people. I'm putting a limit. I wouldn't have a lot of people in one cohort because I want to make sure I'm able to help everyone. So in 6 weeks' time, you are being held accountable, not just by me, but your peers. So it will become a very interesting way to learn together, to be very frank. So 6 weeks, there will be 1 to 2 lessons dropped into the Facebook group every week. So these lessons will not be like, like 2 hours lesson kind of stuff. I don't do brain dump for this kind of stuff because I'm just going to come in and tell you that that's what we're going to do. We're going to build a video. Here's a script I will explain to you. And after that, I want you to start building your script, stuff like that. 1 to 2 lessons every week in the private Facebook group. And every week we will have 1 Zoom coaching session, which will be broadcasted into the Facebook group for our so-called the recording purpose. So very simple, right? Every week I will drop you a homework that you have to do. And then after that, towards the end of the week, we will have a Zoom call together. Everybody will come together, 10, 20 of you. And after that, we will discuss about your progress. You can ask questions. And of course, you can ask for recommendation from not just me, but your peers and all that. So that's kind of the thing. So basically, while during this 6 weeks time, you get in support from me and my team. So not just from me and my team, you also get support from your cohort members as well. So it's a really good thing to learn together. That's why I don't want to do all this. This cannot be a 2-hour lesson or 5-hour lesson, because here's what I know. If I just give you a framework by teaching you as a lifetime course and all that, you'll buy it, you just put it there, you will not execute. But here, you're committed that you want to come in 6 weeks' time. We're going to build all these things together. You're going to launch a YouTube channel by hook or by crook in 6 weeks' time. Okay, so what's covered? Week 1, we're going to talk about research. We have this intent-based research, keyword research method, where I will teach you how to do research and we will identify video topics. So you have to come up with a list of video topics and you have to submit into the group and we will have this discussion. I'll give you recommendations during the coaching call. And week 2, we're going to build the foundation of the channel, how to do the channel art, how to choose the channel name, how to actually put the introduction video and stuff like that. All these are the basic fundamental stuff. Not very complicated, but you have to go through certain framework as well. So this is what we're going to do on week 2. And week 3 and week 4 is where we do production. I know I'm not expecting you to finish 5 videos in a week. That's why I give you 2 weeks. We're not just going to work on the video. We also have to work on the landing page because remember, it has to be linked with an offer. So I'm going to give you suggestions or recommendations throughout the entire journey. So week 3 and week 4 is where we're going to do this. And week 5, after we have launched the channel, with all these things in place, we're going to come back and connecting the dots, whereby we're going to go into the analytics part of YouTube analytics. Everybody who have gone through my analytical stuff, you know that I'm damn good with numbers. And we're going to find ways to actually analyze and identify what are the opportunities that we can leverage on to build our channel to the next step, which is what we're going to do, gearing up for growth. So how's the whole thing work? In these 5 days, 6 weeks time, we're going to have at least 5 videos created. But of course, if you feel like it, you can do 10. The idea here is we're going to launch this as a series. Okay, they must be well connected in between, and they must be connected to the so-called offer, and everything will be done structured in a very well structured way using my framework. Don't worry, you don't even know how, because I'm going to guide you anyway. So very simple. Like I said, you cannot just sign up and pay me money to enroll into this thing. So you need to apply. So scan this, fill in the form, and apply. So when you apply, we're going to schedule for a 30 minutes call. Basically, I will come in and I want to understand why you want to build a YouTube channel. What is that all about? And I will see if my framework is able to help you. If I'm able to help you, then of course I will invite you to enroll. I'll give you an offer. Okay, whether you take up or not, what I'm actually promising here is in these 30 minutes or so, we're gonna help you have better idea about whether YouTube is for you or not and what can you do next in order to whether you want to do it with me or on your own in launching your YouTube channel that makes you money. So here's the link. You can actually scan and sign up. To be very frank, like I mentioned, there is a limitation. I can only take that number of people in each cohort because I want to make sure I can help everybody that comes in into the group coaching. So yes, come in, apply fast. We can meet faster, and eventually I will let you know when to start. Don't ask me now. Okay, now here's the thing. I just want to quickly check on you guys. There are still quite a number of you who watch up to now. Can I ask how long have you been in your business, in doing what you do? How long have you been doing what you do? Like if you do insurance, how long have you been doing this? If you do music, if you do teaching music, how long have you been doing this? TC said 15 years, right? Not 15 days, I'm sure. You've been doing this for 15 years. Okay, so how long have you been doing what you do? Give me some numbers, please. So I believe for whatever you do, right, you must have done this for a long time because we are at our age where we kind of like settle down with our career path. We are not kind of like dabbling anymore. Like Aaron says 6 years with wife, 28 years. Wow, that's a crazy number, right? So if you have been doing this for a long time, now the next question here is this. How long do you plan to stay in this business that you're doing right now? How long do you plan to stay in this business that you're doing right now? Now, for me, for digital marketing, coaching and training, I would say I would do as long as I can. My wish was really to die on the stage. If I would still speak on the stage, I want to be there, but it's a bit kind of like scary. Then I would kind of like reserve that. But then again, most of the time, we are already at a stage where we are very certain about our career path. For whatever we do right now, we want to do it for the rest of our life. So let me ask you this question. How much do you spend marketing your business right now? Right now, whether you're running on Facebook ads or you're running Google ads, you're running SEO, you're writing article, you're doing print ads, you're doing billboard, you're doing flyers and all that. How much do you spend marketing your business right now? So yeah, how is it going? How is it going? You see, when it comes to advertising, although I've been teaching Facebook advertising and doing Facebook advertising since 2010 for the longest time, I have to admit and break it down that advertising is very short term and is very consistent. And I brought up another very important issue, which is the behavior shift, especially if you're running a lot of ads on Facebook and Instagram and all that. The user behavior shift, because you see, you're intruding on social network. You're trying to push your thing to them while they are not ready to purchase, while they are not ready to take up any offer. I'm there to mingle, right? Yes, you may capture some attention, got certain people to come over to look at your stuff, to click into your link, but because the buying intent is so low, the conversion is very inconsistent. That's the problem. Face it, right? That's why this is what happened. When we do lead gen, I always tell my client it's natural that at least 80% of them are not ready. Only 20% of them are ready. Now, out of these 20% of them are ready, how much or how many percent you can convert, how many of them you can convert, that's another story to tell. Same thing. I never promise you like 50% will kind of thing. But then again, because advertising is short-term and it's consistent, I mean, we have spent so much time and effort on advertising, and we know that it's not something that we can actually do kind of like get good result all the time. So why not invest for the long game? Why not invest something that can give you long-term benefit, that can continuously grow and tapping into the highest purchase intent while people are really looking for a solution or product that you're offering right now already, and shorten the journey of discovery and get them to come to you at the right place at the right time to buy. So you may ask, right, what about SEO? Now, how many of you have got good success with SEO up to now? How many of you have got, like, seriously, if you have gotten some good success with SEO up to now? How many of you have Like seriously, I never really gotten a very good SEO, so-called. But then again, what I have proven to you was in the past 1 year plus, building a YouTube channel like that, I grew my organic traffic by 300% just with one slow growing, tiny YouTube channel. That is what I call bloody SEO, if you ask me. No SEO so far I've experienced. In fact, at one point I spent, I think in a year, I spent about close to about 40,000 on SEO. I hired a very reputable so-called SEO company, and we did SEO because I raised some money back then, right? I raised $500,000. So I could actually spend that kind of money. But at the end of the day, nothing. My company ran to the ground in a year time, and eventually nothing much happened. So SEO, what? Might as well do something that you know you can actually have more control, which is video. So like I said, YouTube is a long-term traffic powerhouse. It will not just give you traffic now, a week to come, 1 month later, 1 year later, even a decade later. Like I mentioned just now, my best performing video has been around for at least 2 years now, and it's still getting me that kind of revenue consistently and even gradually growing over time. So just want to put it back to your business. What can you do with YouTube? What can you achieve with YouTube? Would that take away a lot more of your headache? Would that make your marketing easier? Would you be able to have a traffic powerhouse that you can actually focus more of your time and energy doing something that you really love instead of always need to go back to the marketing side of it? It's your choice. So if you're ready, scan this QR code. We will be scheduling a call together to discover whether to actually find out if we are fit. If we are fit, then why not? We work together. If not, I promise you'll walk away with good insights from this half an hour session that we will be spending together.